I divide medical content creation into two phases. There's phase one, which is getting started, growing your followers, gaining an audience, becoming comfortable with content creation. So that is phase one. So that will take you from zero to your first 100 followers, 1,000, first 10,000, 100,000, million, et cetera, right? That is phase one of the content creation journey. Now, every content creator then ideally would transition to phase two, which is monetization. Now, how do we basically take the audience, the content creation, the followers that we've made, and how does that translate to actual money and actually helping us get financial success from this venture? Yes, because obviously you can all post for fun and it's like fun and games and for creativity outlet. That's fine. You can do that. But once content creation becomes an operation, you're posting daily, you're thinking about content creation all the time, you're thinking about different video ideas, you have your phone ready to record things, right? Anyone who's been in that journey, right? If you're watching this, you probably you're thinking about starting or you've started, you kind of know that it's always in the back of your mind, right? The ideas for more content. And so what this group hasn't figured out yet is how we can go to this group to actually make money. So every time I see a medical content creator, especially one that I haven't come across, what I always do is I go to their bio, because in their bio, I want to see what they sell. And so I've seen a variety of different examples. I've seen people have their own scrub lines. Maybe they're brand ambassador for figs or some other thing like a derm company, maybe, or some kind of supplement. So I've seen that. I've seen some people who have courses, particularly in the financial space. I'll see break free out of or financial education for doctors. So I have people out for courses and workshops. I'll see private practice links. For example, Dr. Miami, right? His account helps promote his private practice, his plastic surgery practice. So I'll see a lot of that, which I'm always like happy to see. Okay, this is cool. These people are figuring out how to monetize. I remember there's one girl I thought was super clever. So she has, I think, 300,000 followers on TikTok. And so she sells different guides, like guide to clerkships, guide to step one studying, guide to use my flashcards, like stuff like that. And they're super cheap. So it's $20 or $30, but I'm sure she sells a decent amount, right? That's how she monetized, is by selling like her knowledge, her education. But I see a lot of content creators, medical content creators, who might have 100,000, 500,000, a million, 2 million, and I don't see anything in their bio. And it makes me so sad because I'm like, you put in all this effort into content creation and it's not yielding you the result that you wanted. Yes, I get it can be fun and a creative outlet, but at some point it becomes a job. And I've quit. I've took a whole year off, right? And nobody gets to that level of content creation, like a million followers, without even 100,000, even 10K, let alone without like actually putting some thought into it and taking it relatively seriously. And so I always feel such a shame because I'm like, you're not selling anything. So you're not ambassador for anything. So you're not making any money from this. Yeah, the platforms will pay you like X amount of money, but that's not where the money is made in social media. The money is made in social media is from the stuff that you sell, right? That's why fitness influencers have either the fitness programs or they have their coaching or they have their own gym or they have their supplements or their merch. It's because it's not the videos don't really make that much money. It's the products, right? That's the stuff that makes money, right? Even if you sell a book or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, so these people are literally working their full-time attending jobs or resident jobs or whatever. And they're putting in all this effort into social media and it's not getting them any money. It's not getting them any value. Granted, there are definitely other benefits of growing an audience, like brand exposure, right? You'll get a ton of free stuff. You'll get speaking opportunities. You'll get known more. Or you might be asked to give talks. So I'm not discounting all that, but the financial aspect's a core aspect. And so for me, it was so crucial because I was stuck there. I was literally stuck for 4 years where I was making content. I had reached 250,000 followers on TikTok and I wasn't making a single dime from it. And I was spending my weekends researching content and making videos. So I was like, what the hell? I'm pushing all this time and I'm not getting any reward from it, right? Yes, I'm helping people with the videos, but it's not helping me. So it's not a sustainable venture, right? We wouldn't practice medicine if we made $0 and 0 cents doing it, right? Because it's such a stressful thing that we want to be compensated fairly, and there's nothing wrong with that. Same thing with content creation. So what medical creators need to figure out is how to make money from it. And so the way that I did it was, at first I tried selling a depression course. I created this whole course and I was like, I want to help my audience recover from depression naturally. And long story short, like no one bought it. And I got so discouraged, I stopped posting for a whole year. But then I started building my own private practice after I graduated residency. And so I went back to making content. And so that helped me get some follow or some patients for my private practice, and it still does. But then the secondary way that I monetized was that I created a Level Up Psych Academy, which is an educational platform to help psych NPs learn psychiatry, because their schools don't really teach them that stuff, right? That's a whole nother story. They're getting shafted. It's not their fault, but there's a gap, right, where they're not really learning the real life psychiatry they need to know. And so I created an online school to teach them the psychiatry from what I've learned in residency, fellowship, etc. And our members pay a monthly subscription for that. And so that's how I make money from content creation, right? Which allows this to become a sustainable lifestyle for me. And so now, and you might think either random people watching this, or you might you might think it's greedy to do that, or it is not ethical, which is not true. Like, we've all bought stuff from influencers, right? Whether it's like skincare or products, or like fig scrubs, or like skincare routines, right? So like we've all gotten stuff. So it's not even that. I would rather buy a product from an influencer than a random company, because at least if I trust the influencer, then I trust that, okay, their opinion is valid. So if they say get this thing, then I'm more likely to get that thing, rather than just me randomly trying to research it and just going off of like the website description or product reviews, which are likely faked. Oh, man, I went on such a rant. I forgot what I was going to say completely. Oh my God. We were talking about money, right? We're talking about monetization, brand. I can't remember. I can't remember. Yeah, how unethical. Yeah, something like, we're talking along those lines. I don't remember exactly what we're talking about. But man, I wish that you were here, that you could literally just help me, and I'd be like, oh yeah, and then I'd go back on my spiel, right? But yeah, basically the point is that it's very normal to sell something. And it's, in fact, we can help out our audiences further by doing that. For example, Alex Hermosi, he's a big time business influencer, business creator, right? And he's given a lot of free help in his advice. And so because he's given that free help, that way when he sells, for example, when he sells a book like this, right? I know that book will be helpful for me. And so I buy the book because I know that I can learn business from him. He last year, he launched this new book. And so when he launched it, he also launched a whole bunch of other educational products with it. And the whole thing cost $6,000. He called it his playbooks. I bought that thing. I was one of those people who bought from an influencer, $6,000, because I was like, this is a business investment in myself. I trust this guy. I trust that his business advice is good. So therefore, let me buy this. And so that way I can learn business from this man. And I don't regret it. I learned a lot, which has helped my own business. So the point is that when you sell something, we're actually helping our audience at a deeper level, right? I can, at the most basic point, is that I can make videos to help patients. But then if I have my own private practice, then I can help patients further by actually seeing them, right? Or with my psych NPs, I can help with the videos. But now if we're in an academy, then now if they bring their cases to me, then I can actually help them with the real life case. Be like, okay, no, I don't think that this is correct. Try prescribing this instead, or consider going up on the dose of this, whatever, right? And it's such a shame, because I see these medical creators, I see how much effort they put into growing their audience, their brand, but there's so much potential that they're leaving off the table because they just haven't learned how to monetize it. And if they did that one thing, then they would pretty much, their whole medical career would be completely changed. They might go from feeling they might enjoy practicing, but we'd go, for me, for example, I went from feeling, okay, I'm forced to practice to make money, versus now I can practice because I want to, because the rest of my medical content creation pays the bills. So now I only practice pretty much for fun because I want to practice, right? And it's a much more liberating feeling to do that than if I'm forced to do it. And that's literally my whole mission. My mission creating this channel is to help medical content creators grow their audiences, and learn how to monetize properly. So if you want to learn how to do that, best place is our Level Up site Social Academy, completely free, where I teach how to grow an audience and how to monetize. So you can definitely check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.